And Mr. Hamza Suhuyini, ne brother your friend say Hamza Suhuyini, wako blasted the General Secretary of the NDC. Mr. Fiifi Kwetey, wako tina TV so, a blast papa no left and right. Adentia, because of sa asemna papa ne beka say, what crop post to be? Name wo sanso a pe post for ewo party ni muno. Resign from your position and sana wako for that new position now wope ewo party no. Hamza Suhuyini say oti asia enyeye na waka asem ne dadawo afei na Fiifi Kwetey de response no abre no na response no nyamre ne tie bi na ebeto wakoma so ne enti papa no me pen na asem kyese wo ka se udro party bia na se wudo bribia and se wudo kra nyina bo for ya ma bibia eye Mr. Fiifi Kwetey o kyese odo NDC party no pese party ni yeye aha CBD TV and na first time I will share ya sure say subscribe my we obi so our subscribe dada ya dase me mu wie me notification bell no said the be ya anytime no ye de new video bi ato no ma na we hu na won so wa ba be share na yesro wie so a wa share akwakoma wadanfo bi unu be obusuani bi na ono so enye bi ahwe bebre ya dase enti anche bia na yete say the General Secretary of the NDC eba ya obeka say mo positions a mo wo crop position bia wa ban mu a wo san so party position bia no resign from your post and sana wako for the new position now wo pe no sa same we say na akọ create ensem bebre ebi mu apene so ebi mu so ampene so na nipa ba ko on the one fan ni ti anje kra Hamza Suhuyini Hamza Suhuyini ne brother no na asem ni dia aba wakaka kan ensem nyina atwamu na afei na Mr. Fiifi Fiavi Kwetey wanya kwan ne response anase waba be yi na no wo blaster Hamza de blaster no afei we home match na de be blast kra na Hamza Suhuyini or de blast Fiifi Kwetey or no so abetutu bia mani.
I'm worried, and since our General Secretary has always been forceful in upholding to the principles of the National Democratic Congress, I think that those of us who are also known to have publicly campaigned for him in conformity with that democratic principles, I think that I'm also free to speak my mind on this matter. And one of the principles I have as a member of this party is never to be cowed into submission when it comes to beliefs that I hold dear. I am extremely worried that in as much as I respect his desire to have a working party, his utterances too needs to be measured in a way that in the future it does not hurt the fortunes of the party.
In what sense? And
I'm going to give specific examples. And if he's listening, he's a senior comrade. And one of the principles why I openly campaign for him, yes, one of the reasons why I openly campaign for him because I know his commitment to the party's principles. But you see, when you are in government, the first utterance I found a bit problematic was the declaration in Kumasi that as a party, he has picked intel that some of our people were engaging, lobbying to get NPP people out of the hook. Whether it is true or not, if it is said publicly, what you have succeeded in doing is to throw in doubt and suspicion amongst the rank and file of the party and government. And that mistrust starts from that place. And it becomes difficult for us to control. As if that was not enough, our General Secretary again proceeded to somewhere in the Volta region, June 4th revolution, and openly referred to those who are calling for Mahama to go for a third term. It is within everybody's democratic right. Many of us may have disagreed with those calls. But these are party people, and we are in government. Our utterances are important. So if you make statements to the point that they are sycophants, it throws in another element of conflict. And these things could spell doom for the party.
But you trust
and just yesterday,
but he's a no,
just yesterday, the day before yesterday, another word introduced to the dynamics: greed.
But he's a no-nonsense man. You like him?
No, and that is my worry. You see, that is my worry. I respect people who are no nonsense.
So he's shaking the table of government.
This party cannot win power in 2028 without these government appointees, whether they are part of the national executive or not. So the responsibility is not just on the government. It is on all of us to be very measured in the way we do. And I know Fiifi Kwetey. Look, when he was campaigning to be general secretary, I had to abandon someone who had even supported me financially in the past, in my own political dreams, to support his candidature because I believe in him. And that is why when I feel that maybe certain utterances he may not really appreciate the future implications of these utterances, it is my responsibility to prompt him on it. And that is the beauty of the National Democratic Congress.
When Mr. Fiifi Fiavi Kwetey, any Evans, I what joy, Edim Komono Kochimbe Muno say, what in Sama Hamza Suhuyini wake kandia farm no si o wate enti dey na woka e de farm na tie dey Mr. Fiifi Fiavi Kwetey or dey man way.
I mean, you're definitely not going to have everybody happy with your position, but if you're a leader, you take your position because you're seeing a much bigger picture. I can tell you subsequent to that he has made calls to apologize for some of what he said. He's made appearances at the different levels of the party. I mean, to be able to say, upon deeper reflection, he would have actually worded it completely differently. He's a younger brother of mine, and I told him that I personally have no problem people disagreeing with me at all. So it's okay. It's not a problem. You know what? I've been in a position to even disagree publicly with Jerry Rawlings, the founder of the party. I remember. Disagreed publicly, respectfully, but disagreed. So I'm not one who gets worried when somebody disagrees with me publicly. Even if the founder of the party, I mean the one on whom this party is established, some of us, I'm like virtually like a son to Rawlings. I can publicly disagree with my political father. I can understand when people disagree, but what is important is at the end of the day, are we fighting for what endures for the good? Where I disagree with him is when he said that what we are saying would rather work against the party. No, this is actually work for the party. The people out there need to know that you have a general secretary who is ensuring that things are done well. A general secretary who is not afraid to even call out what is wrong in the party. That's what research is about. Research is not covering things up. Some of them what they wish is that maybe cover it up or pretend that it's not happening so you can talk about it. No, there are certain things that are wrong. It's important, especially for the young generation that voted for us, to know that we are not here to behave like what, for example, Kufuor said, I'm not going to call out corruption because it will affect my government. That's the politics of the past. That must not be. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And if you have to call it out, you call it out, because the country is ahead of all of us. And we must always put the country first.
Hamza put his criticism in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. I'm very sure there are others who hold the same view, haven't altered it yet, who are very deeply not in favor of the views you're expressing.
That's okay. That is, it's all right. It makes, I mean, you can expect that. It's normal. It is a mass party made up of millions of people. And when you take positions that especially affect what I call vested interests, because this is vested interest. People have a vested interest. Somebody wants to hold two positions. And your pronouncement, there again, is not even an individual pronouncement. In this case, it's a party position. That party position makes it difficult for the person to hold a two position. You expect him not to be happy. You understand that? Mm-hmm. It's just like having a child at home who is not happy because maybe the father said, this is how you ought to be. It's not a dictatorship. The child should be allowed to express and grumble. But at the end of the day, the rules have been laid and the rules will be followed. Simple.
But what also that does is, if it is an unpopular view, again, NDC is not the only political party in this ecosystem. We all know how political parties have behaved. Okay. It has been normalized. You want to reset. Often when people reset, the guy who leads the reset is not popular because you want to change the status quo. Change is a very, very difficult process. You have to carry power.
Very true.
But here you are. You want to put yourself up for election in December. That's actually putting a nail in your own coffin.
I agree. But you see, the difference is this, that if you know me well, I'm never desperate for anything. what people are desperate for and will kill for, I walk away from it without a second hesitation. That's me. Because I don't believe life is all about, I must hold these before I can become fulfilled. I can tell you, even running the first time to be in charge of the communication of the party, I didn't want to run. People don't know. I only did it because my mentor literally said, you have to do it. And I said, listen, I'm doing this communication anyway. Because at that time I was already doing studying. There was no a member of the National Executive. I was always in the studio of Joy FM. I was the host of Crossfire. I was on News File. I was speaking for the party, and I wanted to continue.
Setting the record straight.
Exactly. I wanted. So I'm not somebody who is desperate for a position. But when an opportunity presents and you feel you can do something, different and special, I step in there. And I'm the kind that as soon as the opportunity is gone, I can move back into, shall I call it, into obscurity. In fact, many people actually thought when I left Parliament that politics was ended. Simply we didn't understand how anybody would live in Parliament after 2 times. But I did without thinking twice about it. So I'm never afraid of fear. Doesn't paralyze me. I take my positions purely on the back of my conviction and what I think is good for the party. You can bark, you can frighten, you can do anything.
Okay. When I even say, when I'm saying more of I am more leading. Does you're resetting no more leading. No, I am go for shut down pen once more. Now, who's was I say, was Sanka standing for General Secretary Nibium over December week. Into would you say, with the way I when I dinner, what champion the day they say, more your research will be a rough and more bonnet chin and oh, yeah, sure, so more better one. I am affected with you. Papa is a share. And family.
The positions you've taken on a lot of issues, principled positions you've taken. And in our politics, in that part of the world, unfortunately, principle is something that isn't one that we adore. I mean, those who take principled positions are often punished and ostracized from political parties. You are taking principled positions on a lot of things. You are taking the reset agenda to within the party. That can be counterproductive for you, especially for your ambition. You completely accept that. And that it could cost you your ambition to lead a party in 2028 election.
That's right. As I told you, it can. These are you must be ready for consequences. One thing I've always said is this: you can't simply be attacking your opponents when you are doing exactly the same thing as your opponents. So that hypocrisy for me is not something that we should encourage.
What are you telling the delegates, though? I mean, when you go out there to put yourself out, what are you telling them? Because a lot of the delegates will hear you, and those, what is this new preaching that our General Secretary is preaching? That, it's about values, about the values we go chop. Is what they will tell you. Principle and value, it'd be that we could chop. And when they tell you that, what would you say? Because I bet that will come to you.
Yeah, because first of all, it means the delegates are delegates of the National Democratic Congress, and they sing with pride. I mean, the anthem of the party, and they sing it at every function of the party. And that anthem simply talks about the need for us to always place our country as number one. That you should arise and arise for Ghana, all patriots of the land. So that's really what the party is about. So what am I really doing? I'm simply telling the delegate, this is what the party you belong to is all about. The fact that you may not fully understand it doesn't mean that effort must not be made to help us all remember and be anchored on those values. So they are not strange values at all. They are values that you know. So we are just asking you, let's embody those values. And we need to embody the value, especially because we have said we are resetting the country. And to reset the country means business as usual has to be over. You simply cannot expect that everything is done. MPP is bad, NDC is good. No. MPP is bad, but it doesn't mean NDC is perfect. So in order to justify the faith that people are placing in us, we need to make sure charity begins at home. Our party must become better and better, because that's the only way we can produce leaders who truly will be able to place this country where it ought to be. Simply accusing the MPP is not enough. As far as I'm concerned, a lot more is expected of us, because as you know, unto whom a lot is given, a lot is expected. And the people of Ghana have given us a lot of responsibility. And we owe it to especially the young generation of Ghanaians to make sure that the examples we are setting are different examples. We cannot continue the business as usual. I know it may not be a very easy, shall I call it, path, but it's a path some of us are willing to fight for.
Even at the cost of your political ambition.
As I told you, because for me, the thing about this business about political ambition, maybe I don't understand it, because for me, it's not an ambition. It's about transforming our country. You understand? So we'll play our role today, and another person will come and play a role tomorrow. As we say, cadres will go, cadres will come, but the revolution has come to stay. And for me, when I sing that, I mean it. I mean it. I mean, Jerry Rollins has come, he's gone. Atamiz has come, he's gone. GM is here today, tomorrow he's not going to be here. I'm here today, tomorrow I'm not going to be here. But let's make sure we are putting down foundations and putting principles that would make the party greater and stronger, and that will make the country greater and stronger. So for me, these are not things I say around, these are things I totally believe in, and I totally want to embody them every step of the way.
But what is the Fiifi Kwetey ultimate unique selling proposition?
Even that's a tough question, because I don't look at these things as, shall I call it, an individual thing at all. As far as I'm concerned, this is always about the collective. It's always about the collective. So if there is anything in it to be, always wanting to ensure that we place the collective ahead of our individual interests. And I know that's a tough one, because sadly, too many people believe that the interest of the individual must always be ahead of the interest of the collective.
Ghana han won wa obi tu mwesi wono se wona wo ya de pano wona huye hi awe oye sheshe we huhu wona hu ehi enti wona se wo pre akọ higher position bia wo so na yemfa wonko mi wa wona wo pre dia de papa ba wo sa na Ghana han metie enti mi papa we de Debi amekasa enka NDC no anka he's doing good or try or straighten o mankasa o ye rough for baba na dwen de ama eno so na nipa bi mpe opede o di nkwasasama na o ye bone kra na okatakata so ma sa na nipa pe ICBD TV mpacho che wadwe ma comment section. See you again in the next video.